It absolutely will, unless for some reason, after independence, we all voted for a government that wanted to dismantle it. Because we've got to be clear about what we're doing here. We're voting first on September the 18th for the opportunity to be an independent country. In 2016, we will elect the first government of that independent country. So I can't second guess the policies of that government, but I would say I can't for the life of me think of any political party in Scotland, from the Conservatives right through, who would attempt to dismantle the health service in Scotland in the way that it is being dismantled in England. And I'm glad that I chair a health board. I am glad that your grandson is receiving that kind of quality of care. I want to say something else about what won't happen after independence, because we've also had the scare story, there's no other way to describe it, that says after independence, if your child can't be treated in Scotland and the only specialists are, for example, at Great Ormond Street, that'll not happen. Your Wayne will not be allowed to go there. And that scare story was dropped when Great Ormond Street itself objected and said, it's a lie and don't do that. Don't do that with our clinicians, our dedicated staff and our name. We cooperate across the United Kingdom in certain very specialist areas. Sometimes patients come north of the border because what we do is particularly skilled and able, and we've got, in certain key conditions, you do it in a very specialist centre. The board I chair is one.
This specialist centre is actually Newcastle.
Yes, and that will continue. That will absolutely continue, both ways. What we should be worried about, though, is what happens if we vote no. Because Alan touched on it, so I want to do this again. And that is about how we, as Scotland, currently get the money that our government spends. We get it on the basis of a formula called the Barnett formula. And that is a calculation that is based on what the UK government intends to spend on public service, like health, education, and so on. We get a percentage of what they intend to spend. That comes north. So if they intend, as a government, to spend less public money on those services, then what will come north will be less. And the less we have, remember, we can't overspend, we can't borrow, we can't run into debt. The less we have to spend, the harder it's going to be to invest in things like our National Health Service or education or roads or whatever it might be, to continue to provide quality in the health service or improvements elsewhere. That's the risk of voting no, and it is a very real risk.